morning, everyone!
Hello, and we are back to our regular programming. I'm Paolo del Rosario. Let's get you up to speed with some news that you could use right now.
Hello there, beautiful people. I'm Anne Asis-Carilo. Glad to be with you this morning. Let's make it awesome with some laughter, inspiration, and unstoppable energy.
And I'm Monique Tuzon. Your mornings are always Momo fun with us. Join us in the next hour and a half for stories and conversations that matter. I miss you guys. I miss everybody here on this beautiful day. I hope you guys missed us, but that was a fun marathon coverage we had over the past 2 days for the election.
That was fun?
Fun? What do you mean fun? It was stressful.
It was fun? Look at Eileen. Look, she is tired.
Eileen is having fun. She's laughing.
Our director is tired. Our prod is tired. Where were you?
Our cameramen are sleepy.
Alam mo, nag-microblade kasi si Mo nag-refresh siya and all of that. Kami, pagod, okay?
Pagod.
I mean, like, come on,
pa-zoom
in nga sa eyebrows ni Mo. Bagong gawa, okay?
No, this is not how it looks.
Sobrang bagong...
Grabe ka pa. No. Listen, I was here till 1 a.m. and you guys were sleeping.
Yeah.
So I worked hard
but we were here day 2. I was here last night.
Oh my God.
I didn't get to choose
Before
Samba.
agenda, I was here
But
with George. But yes, thank you.
All joking
I'm glad
aside...
I had fun for the whole team.
All joking aside,
saying.
no, but congratulations on you girls because I believe that's your first ever election coverage.
Yes.
Yeah. So I mean, like,
Memorable. One for the
it was memorable. Just wait for the presidential election. I actually did the math. That was actually my 9th year. This is my 9th year doing the
Congrats
elections.
to
I
you,
started in
Paolo.
2016.
Look at you.
So I mean, like, just looking back and in going through all experiences, I think this is my 3rd network working the elections, and it was the first time we did it here in BNC. It was really fun working, obviously, with everyone involved, and I mean, I remember seeing Anne working with Miss Karina for the first time, and she was
Scared.
I was scared.
Guys, you know how Anne is
really.
normally here on the show. She's always happy-go-lucky, singing.
I know. And Direct Carrie
not
was
like
probably wondering, like, before we went on air, I was so quiet, and I'm usually not quiet.
Oh yeah, we know that. Usually kumakanta nga siya
I was just really waiting for Miss Karina to talk to me first because like, I want to strike a conversation, but I'm just waiting for her to do the first move. And
So even all of us get starstruck with Miss Karina because she's literally amazing.
She is wonderful.
Yeah.
She's really wonderful.
But my favorite
killed it
moment is
too.
that, ladies and gentlemen, we've all discovered na kaya pala ni Monique Tuzon
Mag-Tagalog.
I also did not know that. New skill unlocked. But no, guys, I had a migraine after, so that's why I did take a rest yesterday. We're gonna stick to English.
So
That was
yeah,
all.
but apart from that, we're still gonna talk about the results in just a bit because syempre everyone's still talking about it. A lot of surprises, a lot of changes in terms of yung political landscape natin, in terms of siguro even how we campaign, how we look at people, and how people are voting, and of course we'll determine that. But of course, it's going to be a lot of laughter still in the show. So
Always.
let's see what's
But
going to
you know
happen.
what normally doesn't change unless it's a holiday?
Ano?
Traffic.
Oh my
Talaga?
Traffic.
Talaga? Grabe
Are we
yung
still
segue.
shocked about
Grabe yung
this?
segue, no? Mo!
I was practicing to be like you.
How smooth.
Thank you so much.
All
It's a
right.
microblade. Okay, so Anne, take it away.
Let's go serve up some news that you can use this morning. First, we check out the roads and major thoroughfares this morning. Oh, busy. Let's take a look at what's happening along EDSA Quezon Avenue flyover. You will be stepping on the brakes if you're heading to the Quiapo area. As you can see on the left side of your screens, those are the vehicles heading to Quiapo. Even the underpass is already busy as of this hour. Moderate to heavy traffic on that stretch. On the opposite lane, right side are vehicles headed to the Quezon Memorial Circle. We're seeing moderate traffic on that area as well. Now let's take a look at EDSA White Plains this time. On the left side of your screens are vehicles going to Shaw Boulevard. Moderate to heavy traffic already. You will be slowing things down, so keep a cool head. Patience, please. On the right side are vehicles heading to Cubao. Light traffic on that area. Now heads up to motorists. The expanded vehicle number coding scheme is in full swing. It's Wednesday, so vehicles with license plates ending in 5 and 6 should be off the road right about now until 10 a.m. and again later from 5 p.m. to 8 p.m.
Let's check what the weather's going to be like this Wednesday. Paolo has today's forecast from Weather HQ. Take it away, Paolo.
Thank you, Monique. Let's take a look at what's happening today in terms of the weather. Today, there's only one weather system affecting the country. The easterlies, the warm winds from the Pacific Ocean, are the only weather system affecting the country. Again, coming from the Pacific Ocean, affecting the whole country. Now, this weather pattern will bring mostly cloudy skies with scattered rain showers and thunderstorms over southern Leyte, Dinangat Island, Surigao del Norte, Surigao del Sur, Davao Oriental, and Davao Occidental. Now, moderate to at times heavy rains may lead to possible flash floods or landslides in these areas, so make sure you watch out for that. Now, meanwhile, Metro Manila and most parts of the country will continue to experience partly cloudy skies. Now, you can expect hot and humid weather conditions throughout the day with isolated showers or thunderstorms possible by the late afternoon or in the evening, as you can take a look at how the weather is all affected there due to the easterlies. Now, at this moment, let's check out the latest heat index outlook coming from Pag-asa, where today, several areas across the country are scorching under extreme temperatures. Now, multiple locations have reached a dangerous heat index of 44 degrees Celsius. Now, remember, this includes the air temperature and, of course, the humidity. So this is the feels-like temperature. Sangni Point in Cavite, Pili Camarines Sur, San Jose Occidental Mindoro, Rojas City, and Butuan City, all with 44 degrees Celsius. Now, just a degree cooler, but still a blazing hot 43 degrees Celsius. It's expected in the following areas. We have Coron, Palawan, Masbate City, Iloilo, Tacloban in Leyte, Catarman, Northern Samar, and Gian in Eastern Samar. Now, just a degree lower, several locations have registered a 42 degrees Celsius, a level that remains within the danger zone. Now, these include Metro Manila, Bacnotan, La Union, Subic Bay, Olongapo, Tanawan, Batangas. Under 42 degrees Celsius are Puerto Princesa in Palawan, Siquijor, Maasin, Southern Leyte, Dipolog, Zamboanga del Norte. Now, with these extreme high heat index levels, residents in affected areas are strongly advised to stay indoors during the peak heat hours, which is usually between 11 a.m. and 3 p.m. Drink plenty of water, wear light and breathable clothing, and carry an umbrella if you need to go out. Now, if you experience any dizziness, nausea, or excessive sweating, find shade immediately and seek medical attention. Stay cool, stay safe, and stay hydrated. Now, as for sea conditions, we saw it a while ago actually. No gale warnings are in effect. Now, sea conditions nationwide are relatively calm and moderate, generally safe for small boats. So winds and waves remain mild, but mariners and fisherfolk should stay alert and check updates before heading out. Now, that is it for Weather HQ at the moment. Girls, back to you.
Thank you so much, Pao, for that weather report. Let us now check the partial and unofficial results in the senatorial race. As of 3:18 a.m., re-electionist Senator Bongo still leads the race with 26,488,398 votes. Second is former Senator Bam Aquino at number 2. We also have Senator Paolo del Rosario at third place, ACT-CIS Representative Erwin Tulfo at fourth. Former Senator Kiko Pangilinan at the 5th spot. You've got Rodante Marcoleta at 6th. Former Senator Ping Lacson at 7th. There's former Senate President Tito Soto at number 8. Pia Cayetano at number 9. Camille Villar at number 10. Senators Lito Lapid and Amy Marcos round out the Magic 12.
Let's check how things are shaping up in the party list race. Akbayan party list remains on top with over 2.7 million votes. Duterte Youth and Tingog complete the top 3, while 4Ps and ACT-CIS party list round up the top 5.
New dynamics await the Senate. The unexpected comeback of Bam Aquino and Kiko Pangilinan sets a new beat in the Senate. But the Dutertes still have their ducks in row with allies Senators Bongo, Paolo del Rosario, Rodante Marcoleta, and Amy Marcos. If Camille Villar sides with the Dutertes, the impeachment could possibly fail to consolidate a 2/3 vote to succeed. Now, the Senate composition does not guarantee anybody anything yet, but it opens a window into what the 2028 presidential race might look like.
Just after the election, it becomes clear that Vice President Sara Duterte's statements have had a significant effect on the results. While many of the lawmakers who supported the investigation into VP Sara and her father, former President Rodrigo Duterte, maintain their leads, it is unclear if the 11-member prosecution panel will remain the same. The gaps between incumbent House members and their competition are very close, with some being in the lower end. VP Sara, visiting a campaign sortie of mayoral candidate Isko Moreno, made statements against Joel Chua, Roland Valeriano, and Benny Abante, all of whom maintain narrow leads on their respective rivals.
ACT-CIS party list representative Erwin Tulfo is well within the winning circle in the senatorial race. Tulfo is ranked 4th in the partial and unofficial count for senators after emerging as a favorite in pre-election surveys. In an interview on the Bilyonaryo news channel, Tulfo addressed criticisms about his family becoming a political dynasty. In fact, he says he's all in on measures and proposals seeking to curb the so-called Kamag-anak Incorporated in politics.
Siguro masasabi ko lang, tingin-tingin muna sa paligid. Kasi actually, naku, maraming masasagasaan.
That's true, yes.
Hindi lang naman po ang Tulfo, 2, 3 tumatakbo. Pero, sige, sasagutin ko na lang, sabi ko nga, pag may bill na final and Senator Lacson was saying he's going to file another one, I'll support it.
Oh, okay.
Kasi hindi po kami pinakamagaling na tao. We're not the best. We're not most charitable people in this land. Marami pa, I'm sure. So, give them a chance. Pag may pumasa na batas, ako mismo, I'll step down. I'll step down, and I'll tell my brother, sige, you stay there. And I will convince my nephew, I'll convince my sister-in-law, let's go down.
Placing in the top 5 of the senatorial race in this year's elections came as a surprise for Kiko Pangilinan, especially since surveys showed he wasn't even in contention. Because of this, he suggested pollsters review their methodology to get more accurate results. Meantime, Pangilinan attributed his win to a strong campaign finish and their fight against disinformation.
We got endorsements from the 2 biggest provinces, Cavite and Cebu and Cavite. And then we were in Quezon City sa last day. Tapos sa umaga yon. Tapos sa gabi, nandun na kami sa Naga. And then yung BARM, 1 week before, I think yung support sa amin ni BAM maliwanag. No? Mukhang abulto nung mga hindi siguro nasisiyahan sa bangayan nung dalawang nag-uumpugang bato, for lack of a better term. Nakita kami bilang posibleng alternatibo. That's why we're ranking high.
The voice of the youth demands to be heard. That's according to human rights lawyer Chel Jokno, whose party list Akbayan leads the race. Jokno attributes his party list front-running performance to the younger generation, who makes up a big chunk of the voter demographic.
Actually, lumabas nga sa balita bago pa ng halalan na around 63% ng mga botante natin ay millennial at Gen Z. At, malaking factor yon sa tingin ko sa nangyaring resulta sa party list. Dahil the younger voters, iba ang hinahanap nila eh. At siyempre, dahil sila ay kabataan, malakas pa rin yung idealism sa kanila, ang klaseng leader na gusto nila ay tingin ko mas progresibo, yung leader na sa tingin nila ay talagang lalaban para sa kanila at sa buong Pilipinas. Kaya sa akin, malaking factor nga yung youth na mas bata ang voting population natin ngayon. Yes, halos lahat ng nasa team ko, with only the exception of 1 or 2, are all young. And siyempre, in today's age kasi, hindi naman yung dati kasi sinasabi nila yung kampanya ay ground war at saka air war. Ibig sabihin ng air war, traditional media. Pero ngayon, ang labanan talaga nasa online nasa mga social media platforms. And kailangan talaga ng isang team na alam nila yung mga nagtitrending, alam nila yung mga uso, at alam din nila yung paano mag-generate ng content. At the same time, matagal na rin ko na rin na nais na maging boses ng batas in the sense na para maintindihan ng mga ordinaryong Pilipino kung ano yung batas. Kasi parang napakalayo sa kanila yung batas. Samantalang araw-araw talagang may epekto sa atin lahat yon.
In world news, U.S. President Donald Trump plans to lift sanctions on Syria. Trump made that announcement during a regional tour that began in Saudi Arabia, saying he was acting on a request made by the Crown Prince. In exchange, a $600 billion commitment from Saudi Arabia to invest in the U.S. and a $142 billion arms deal. The end of sanctions on Syria would be a huge boost for the war-torn country. The United States imposed tough sanctions on Syria as a result of civilian repression during the Syrian war from 2011 onwards. The move to remove the sanctions follows the fall of Syria's previous regime in December 2024. Trump said it's time for Syria to move forward. The new Pope is Instagram official. The Vatican press office announces the activation of Pope Leo XIV's social media accounts. The newly elected pontiff has kept the same Pontifex account used by his predecessors Benedict XVI and Francis on X. A new account has been activated for Leo on Instagram, while Pope Francis's old account will remain accessible. Leo will be officially installed as the new leader of the Catholic Church at a Mass on Sunday, May 18th. Oh, I'm gonna miss the Mass. I literally arrive in Rome on the 18th at night, so I'm sad I'm missing that, but I'm gonna try to get a glimpse of the new Pope while I'm there.
How?
They do Jubilee Masses every Wednesday, and I downloaded the
Abangan
app,
niya
so
sa-
I'm ready.
Abangan niya sa balcony.
Sa Basilica.
Nagtatayo siya.
Nandyan lang siya nakatayo.
Pope Leo! Hello, I'm Monique from the Philippines.
I'm gonna be like, Anne Pope, I follow you on Instagram.
Make a like a placard or something. Pope Leo! That's gonna be so funny. But
I'm
he is,
going there, I can't
even before he
wait.
was elected as Pope, he is active on social media.
Yeah, super.
Yes.
Very vocal, and of course, I just double checked that account and
How many followers do you
kaka-follow.
have?
How many followers
you
do
just
you have?
followed him
Well, there's
lang
plus
now?
one, yeah. Well, to be fair, it's a new account. So,
Yeah, but I mean, you never know.
And I heard it here first, Bilyonaryo News Channel. 1.5 million followers already.
New
for
account, and it's
Pope.
already 1.5.
Yeah, 1.5
And he's the
million.
Pope.
Yeah,
I mean, like,
often.
yeah. I mean, you're probably going to, you're going to follow him. But then, different translations for his captions. And still going through his message of peace. But yeah, I mean, like, interesting start here for Pope Leo, considering
Yes.
that everyone's still talking about the fact that he's still American. And that's such a new thing, especially with what's happening in the States at the moment. But anyway, we're gonna be hoping, Mo, that you see him in person.
Pray for me, guys.
Yeah,
Literally, I want to
100%.
be blessed by the Pope.
Get your placard ready and
Look,
make sure that
we're
you
gonna-
flash it there.
I already have my
Leo!
tours all booked for the Vatican and the Basilica and all that, so we're ready.
Yeah, look, with eyebrows like that, he can't miss you.
Grabe ka
Alright, so
naman sa
moving
eyebrows
on to sports, okay? Alex Ayala and Coco Gauff barge into the doubles quarterfinals of the Italian Open. The duo shut down local wildcards Tyra Caterina Grant and Lisa Pigato. The Filipino star and the American sensation needed just over an hour to win the match. Up next for Alex and Coco, the defending doubles champions Jasmine Paulini and Sara Errani.
Thank you so much for all the support that you've been giving us this week. And hopefully in our next match, a lot of you will come out and watch.
Yeah, thank you guys for all the support. Super happy to be playing with Alex, and hope you guys can keep supporting us. And we don't like Team Coachella, so pick a new
Okay, so another name maybe. Another name. Okay. Bye.
Don't like that name. They're looking for a pairing name for a team name for their doubles group. So again,
What have
Coco
you
Gauff-
come up with?
No, because I was a fan of the Coachella one. Coco Ayala.
Yeah,
Coachella. I was a
yeah.
big fan of that. So I am lost. I don't know
Really?
what to.
But this
at
is the
moment.
first.
Why didn't they like it?
I don't know. Baka they're not
Cute
party
naman.
people.
Maybe they're not festival
Yeah,
goers.
baka they're not festival growers. If it were,
Maybe they're
I
chill.
don't know.
Or
We
they
got-
want maybe they want something that's more associated to the sport.
Day. I don't know what it
Can
would
you come
be.
up with names right now on the spot?
I'll
Pao,
think
you're
about
good
it.
at this.
No, I can't do it on the spot.
No, but he's so good at doing
Because
this.
I was really thinking about it. I couldn't come up with anything witty because it's
Okay.
Coco Goff and Alex Ayala and
Colex.
huh?
Colex.
Colex. Damn.
Yes.
Ship name.
Colex, yeah.
I don't know. But we're gonna sit on it. We're gonna try
Okay,
and
sit
figure
on
it
it and
out.
we'll come back to you.
Yeah.
But let's talk some entertainment news because the Cannes Film Festival just opened and there were some big names walking down the red carpet. First and foremost was the legendary Robert De Niro, who was presented with the honorary Palme d'Or, considered to be the film industry's highest honor. Also there was iconic director Quentin Tarantino, who won his own Palme d'Or in 1994 for his film Pulp Fiction. The festival will run until the 24th of May, with this year's jury including American actors Halle Berry and Jeremy Strong, South Korean director Hong Sang-soo, and French actress Juliette Binoche as jury president.
Robert De Niro getting a Palme d'Or.
Right. Palme d'Or.
Palme d'Or. I'm so happy for him. Obviously, I don't know. But when you think of Robert De Niro, what movie comes out of your mind?
Don't hate me, but when I think of Robert De Niro, I think of Matilda.
Matilda,
That's
really?
one of my favorite movies.
Yeah,
Remember
yeah, yeah.
he played the dad in Matilda? You never even...
No, I don't think that was Robert De Niro.
Was it not Robert De Niro?
That was
Oh, no,
not-
that's Mike. Oh, shoot.
That's not Robert De
Oh,
Niro.
no.
Your
Oh, my-
childhood is ruined.
I'm mixing them up.
That's
oh, no.
Oh,
It's a different
no.
dad.
No. Wait, I thought that was him. That was, he played...
That's Danny DeVito.
Danny DeVito. He also played the guy in Hercules.
Medyo hindi sila magkamukha.
Oh nga, it's
Oh
far.
my God, I keep the...
De Niro and
Height
DeVito
pa
lang
lang
eh.
eh.
It's not ano
Oh
eh.
my... Guys, the eyebrows is making me confused. Wait lang.
No,
That
but
was
Robert
not
De
me.
Niro, I think our
Classic.
generation would say Meet the Parents.
Yeah, Meet the Parents.
Meet the Parents, our generation.
With
But,
Ben Stiller.
There's Raging Bull, there's Taxi Driver, there's a lot of classic Robert De Niro. What movie?
You know, I just can't remember the title, but there's this Cry family movie where he was the dad. I can't remember. I will search that up for you guys, but that really made me cry. He's a dad.
There's another movie
and then
that I know he's in. Wait.
I think he died or something, but it was a cry
Yeah, but
movie.
he's
Robert De Niro was in it.
it's just he's a very versatile actor. Like, look, even our production right now is fighting about which Robert De Niro movies are.
Oh, he was in Joker too.
Yes, he
Yeah,
was.
he was.
the,
Oh, and Dirty
the-
Grandpa.
Yeah,
He was
yeah.
there, the comedian.
Yeah,
a lot.
He's got range. He's got range. How about Robert De Niro? And again, congratulations to Robert De Niro. Mag-guess ka naman dito. Galing, no? Kung nag-guess siya dito. But, yeah, I mean, like, we're happy for him. And, I love the mention of Quentin Tarantino. Again, one of my top 3 favorite directors of all
Directors,
time.
yes.
So, I mean, like, the liberal use of gratuitous violence is just so amazing for Quentin Tarantino. But that's just me fanboying over here. But what else do we have?
Yeah, we'll let you have your moment. Val.
We're good.
Okay,
We're
go
good.
ahead.
We're good.
And while you do that, from the Cannes Film Festival all the way to the concert stage, heads up, rock fans, one of the most enduring bands of the 90s is making a comeback to the Philippines. The Smashing Pumpkins are set to take the stage at the Araneta Coliseum on September 29th. Ticket prices range from 1,800 to 8,800 pesos. Pre-sale starts May 31st, while general ticket sales begin June 1st. The Grammy-winning band last performed in Manila back in 2012. Smashing Pumpkins popularized anthems such as Today, 1979, Disarm, and Perfect. The midterm polls is not lesser than the national elections as it sets the battleground for many key issues in the country, including the presidential race itself. That conversation after the break. Stay tuned. It's a beautiful day. We'll be right back. Hi there and welcome back. You're still watching It's a Beautiful Day. The Philippines is still reeling from the elections fever, but as the dust settles, the new composition of the Senate now gets clearer. With the high-stakes midterm polls coming to a close, it opens a gateway to a new race, the 2028 presidential elections. We will be joined by UP Political Science Assistant Professor Sol Iglesias to talk about the implications of the newly concluded elections. It's a beautiful day, Prof. Sol. Good morning. Welcome to the show.
Hello, good morning. Nice to be on the show. Thank you, Anne.
Prof, this midterm election brought about a lot of surprises, a lot of unexpected twists and turns, defying surveys and what people are expecting to appear on the lists. How would you compare this midterm elections to other elections that we've had?
I mean, like you said, there were dramatic twists and turns. I suppose what we would also need to take into consideration is that this midterm election was really dominated by the rivalry between two very powerful factions, right? Of course, the president's faction, the Marcos Jr. faction versus the Duterte faction. They were erstwhile allies. But in the course of the last 18 months or so, Uniteam really started to collapse as an alliance. And the midterm elections was quite a reflection of this rivalry.
Prof, this elections as well, this is where we heard the voices of our Gen Zers. Did you see any particular trend in the voters' behavior and preference, and did you see anything change because of the Gen Z's voting?
Well, if we compare it to the 2022 elections, Gen Z was voting around like the same profile as the rest of the demographic makeup of the electorate. Very strong support for the Marcos Duterte ticket. So now, it's very difficult to think of a youth vote as a bloc. What I would have expected, we need to really see the breakdown of the results. But what I would expect to see is that they were also similarly split among the two main camps, the Alianza ng Bagong Pilipinas camp linked to President Marcos, and of course the sort of pro-Duterte camp linked to Sara Duterte and her father, former President Rodrigo Duterte.
I want to talk about a couple of what a lot of people consider to be surprise results. Obviously, the inclusion of Bam Aquino and Kiko Pangilinan in this group. A lot of people are attributing it to what they're saying, the Gen Z or the millennial vote, especially when you take a look at least the registered voters. But then, would that be simple enough to attribute to them, or possibly not, considering that other candidates that are aligned with them, or at least people would consider allies with them, were not even close to being in the Magic 12? Is it more of them being a consensus vote from both the Duterte and Marcos camps, or is it really just that youth vote consolidating around them? What would you venture as an analysis when it comes to their high finish in this particular race?
I mean, I think there's a lot to unpack with regard to this extremely unexpected result, right? And it's not just about Bam Aquino and Kiko Pangilinan. It's also the very strong finish of Akbayan as a party list. The last surveys showed them to, they were about under 1%, and now it's like very clearly more than 6% of voter share, which guarantees them at least one seat, and it's likely that they will have 3 seats in Congress. So let's start with this persistent question of the youth vote.
Mm-hmm.
So if we're just going by the fact that there is, a pretty large proportion of youth voters in this election, I would say that's not really convincing enough to explain the sudden surge. There were youth respondents in all of these surveys, which had already started at least late last year, prior to the filing of candidacies, no? And so I don't think that alone explains it. Certainly, it could explain to some extent,
Yeah. Prof, sorry, I hate to interrupt you, but I just want to piggyback on a part there that you mentioned, which is that the surveys couldn't explain it. In fact, some of these survey providers or survey companies did mention that they will have to review their own methodologies to try and ensure a more accurate survey going forward. I remember looking back at the last presidential election, wherein the big hope of the Lenny supporters back in her presidential race was that the surveys were wrong because the on-the-ground presence was so strong and on social media was so strong, but it didn't turn out to be the case come the election time. Shift now to the midterm elections, all of a sudden, things have shifted. The surveys were not as entirely as accurate as they were typically were, or at least traditionally speaking, they were normally accurate. How big of a factor is that moving forward, especially looking forward to the next presidential election?
I mean, look, I was actually quite surprised at the stance of survey companies, for example, Pulse Asia, Social Weather Stations, at least those big two, and there are others quite consistently showing more or less the same range of probable results, right? So, for them to come out to say they have to review their methodologies, I think that's a very polite answer to the question of how was it possible that there was such a sort of estimation of the performance of a few. So I think that there's, of course, a lot of space, a lot of room to improve our methods of trying to gauge public opinion. It's not just the Philippines, it's also elections in the US, right? Like Donald Trump's support among American voters is consistently underestimated since 2016, since 2015, 2016. So, but ultimately, I mean, as an academic, as a political scientist, and as someone who has worked with these survey companies and institutes in my own research, I think that I think that there is still a lot of questions that we need to ask, and it won't take just the next couple of days or weeks. For academics like me, it can take years to really understand this sudden this unexpected bunch of results. So, there are some possible indications of why this happening. I mean, barring like outright, monkey business. There's been talk of a pink surge, right? The politicians are coming out saying, it was our strong campaign finish and that kind of thing. I mean, I think that's something expected to hear from politicians, right? So we need to dig a bit deeper. For me, probably the more likely explanation, as you started to allude to earlier, is that there may have been a pickup from the machineries of the two rival camps.
Yeah.
No?
Prof, sorry to interrupt, but I just want to just personally ask, would you say that the voters, let's talk about the voters' behavior, because like we said, the results were unexpected, to say the least. Would you say the voters' behavior would be personality-driven or issue-driven?
I think it's a little bit of both, right? Because even if a large question around these elections, probably more relevant at the local level, are bread and butter issues, right? People are suffering, the economy isn't doing well, the global security and economic situation, there's a lot of uncertainty. But apart from that, the personality and issue that has been looming over this midterm election, especially for the Senate races, has been the impeachment trial of Sara Duterte, right? So things came to a head after the arrest of Rodrigo Duterte and the fact that he is now awaiting trial in The Hague by the International Criminal Court over really the egregious level of violence of his war on drugs, right? Up until that point, support for Duterte, for Mr. Duterte, for Sara Duterte, had been at a decline, right? They were faced with all sorts of sort of an undercutting of their bases of power, from the arrest of Apollo Kibuloy to the congressional and Senate inquiries, the Quadcom hearings over the EJ case, the POGOs, and then of course the questions of corruption and the basis of the impeachment of Sara Duterte, serious questions over corruption in the office of the vice president and and DepEd. And so that has been, probably to a large extent what has been looming in the minds of voters, right?
Okay.
So you see that boost. Even just before the arrest, there was a recovery of the pro-Duterte candidates.
Yeah.
Prof. Sol, I wanted to put the spotlight on the Magic 12 senators. We're seeing some sort of a balance here. We have 5 from PDP Laban, we have 5 from the Marcos-backed party, and of course we have Bam Aquino and Kiko Pangilinan. The Senate lineup is very critical, especially with the impeachment trial of VP Sara set to start on July 30. How would you describe the new dynamics in the Senate, and what's your fearless forecast of the VP Sara impeachment?
I think it will be very difficult politically for the Senate to convict Sara Duterte. Having said that, let's start with first principles. The Senate will now constitute itself as an impeachment court, right? They will act as senator judges. They need to review the evidence against Sara Duterte, some of which we've already seen during the congressional inquiries and the inquiries in the Senate. So it's up to the prosecutors to make a convincing case. It's up to the defense to contest.
Yeah.
And then it will be up to the senator judges to make an independent and impartial decision.
Prof, I just want to go on, expound on this further, because other commentators have also mentioned that it has now become a numbers game of who will support VP Sara and who would be against. And a lot of it's actually, they're trying to identify right now who are the quote-unquote soft votes that could be swayed one way or the other, depending on the weight of the evidence. Now, I know that we have identified some senators to be pro-VP Sara Duterte and those who are more in favor of the impeachment, but we talk about the prosecution, we talk about the weight of the evidence. Do you feel that there are those soft voters out there, soft votes within the Senate, to be able to swing one way or the other, especially considering that if the weight of the evidence is a bit irrefutable, that it could shift one way or the other, or if there are holes in the argument, you could have those who will rather side with VP Sara?
Yeah. I mean, let's take the example of the impeachment trial of former President Joseph Estrada, right? Past a certain point, the evidence seemed to be very, convincing, overwhelming. It sparked people power too when the Senate summarily concluded the impeachment trial, right? Mm-hmm. So you can't fool all the people all the time, right? So if the prosecution really puts up such a strong case, these so-called soft votes can recalculate, right? But as of today, I think the main implication of the outcome of the Senate races are political. You were already talking about how people, the body of the 2025 election isn't even cold yet. People are already thinking about 2028, and probably people are calculating the odds of a Sara Duterte presidency, right?
Yeah.
To how this will play with the Senate impeachment. Already you have five new incoming senators who have from almost prima facie casting their support for Sara Duterte, and Senator Robin Padilla, as well, and she only needs 9. Or at least 8, right? At least 8. So it seems that a conviction just based on the outset, prior to the actual trial, prior to the case that both prosecution and defense will be making at the outset, it will be quite challenging, or it's not a foregone conclusion that Sara Duterte will be convicted.
Now, Prof, I want to shift the conversation now. Let's talk about political dynasties and artistas that are running. As we saw, there was some major shakeups this midterm elections. So would you say, moving forward, the result of this election, would this discourage or encourage those outside political dynasties and those that are not artistas to run in the next election?
Yeah, so I think that this is nothing new, right? Political dynasties have become more and more entrenched. In the past, we were talking about fat and thin dynasties, right? Thin dynasties are the one where successive members of the family, win, especially like after the 3-term limit is over, a wife or a son or a daughter will take over temporarily, and so on. Fat dynasties are those that sabay-sabay, like many members of the family are running and winning and holding office, from the governor to the mayor to concejal to Congress, and so on. What we're seeing today is are obese dynasties, right? Like extremely family-based campaigning. You see, like in one poster, several members of the same family. And it's not even just for the legislative or local positions. This also includes the party list. The party list, which is supposed to be, despite, the Supreme Court ruling that opened this up, but going by the Constitution, the party list is supposed to be a representation of basic sectors, issue-driven political representation. And even that has been completely infiltrated by political dynasties. And then as for celebrities, yes, this is again, nothing new in Philippine politics. In the Senate races, we see that the results are a bit mixed. Senator Padilla was the number 1 senator in 2022, but we saw, for instance, Bong Revilla, despite his incumbency, dropping out of the Magic 12.
Yeah, we saw Senator Bong Revilla, Jimmy Bondoc, Philip Salvador, Willie Revillame all underperform in this particular election cycle. And of course, we also saw the fall of certain dynasties. Former Representative Cynthia Villar also losing in her race as well. And I think we are seeing some shifts, not necessarily, I believe, to say that it is a sign of the end times of political dynasties. I think it's way too early. Not at all. But there have been some of the outliers there. But interesting conversation
those outliers,
so far.
Yeah, those outliers, this is also nothing new, right?
Yeah.
There have been over the course of the every election cycle, there are some dynasties, of course, that do get dislodged. But the overall trend is not against the sort of dominance of political dynasties in the country.
I wanted to ask Prof. Sol, we're seeing weak performance from the artistas, the celebrities, and some political dynasties. Do you feel that this is the voice, Gen Zs and millennials being the majority of the registered voters this midterm elections? Do you feel that this is the voice of the youth wanting to be heard? And also, do you feel that voters this time have more discernment?
I will reserve some judgment on that. Of course, that is the hope, right? That is the hope. But like I said, it overall is still to me unsurprising, and I don't really want to lose sight of the fact that the overall trend is despite a few upsets, the overall trend hasn't really changed.
Thank you very much. Such an interesting conversation with you today. UP Political Science Assistant Professor Sol Iglesias. Thank you, Prof, for joining us this morning.
Thank you so much for having me.
We've got more stories for you after the break. It's a beautiful day. We'll be right back.
Welcome back. You're still watching It's a Beautiful Day. We have some more news for you. Re-electionist Pasig Mayor Vico Soto gets a landslide win for his third and final term. Vico received 351,000 votes, while his rival Sara Diskaya received 29,000. Diskaya has accepted her defeat, saying the right time will come. Vico Soto, popular for his simple and good governance in Pasig, had this to say about his win.
Kung di naman nagtrabaho ang city government the last 6 years, syempre, ang tao maghahanap ng iba. It's a validation that what we are doing and what we are fighting for is what the people want. Na hindi ito basta may naisip lang ako isang araw tapos so ito na yung gagawin or ito na yung sasabihin. Hindi po. Ito yung gusto ng mga Pasigenyo. Tingin ko sa resulta ng halalan na ito, napakita natin ito overwhelmingly.
Over in Manila, the comeback is real for Isko Moreno as he returns to the City Hall as mayor. Moreno's proclamation was delayed because several precincts were unable to transmit votes on Monday, and Yorme eventually thanked his supporters and laid down some of his plans in his second stint as Manila mayor.
For the meantime, maraming salamat mga batang Maynila. I hope, maiayos natin ulit ang puso. We will continue to pursue the concept of MBN, yung minimum basic needs, housing, education, healthcare, and jobs. But initially, yung cleanliness and orderliness and the peace and order situation of the city.
Some of Moreno's opponents, including his former ally, Hani Lacuna and Sam Versosa, already conceded. And Yorme has this to say about his rivals in the polls.
At the end of the day, taga Maynila sila, di ba? Yung magiging mamamayan ko rin sila. And as I have been doing and committed to do, sa Maynila, pantay-pantay.
The Philippine National Police has recorded more election-related incidents this year compared to the 2022 polls. The PNP logged 46 incidents nationwide during the election period. 27 of which occurred on Election Day itself. Of the 27, 5 were shooting incidents. Based on the PNP's overall data, 9 people died while 17 others were injured. All incidents happened in the provinces. Still, police said the midterm elections was generally peaceful.
The Philippine economy grows 5.4% in the first quarter of 2025, fueled by strong household spending. But the figure is still slower than what was recorded in the same period last year. With inflation cooling and interest rates easing, officials say there is now more room to stimulate investments and sustain momentum through year-end. Sujin Kim reports.
The Philippine economy grew by 5.4% in the first quarter of 2025, according to the latest data from the Philippine Statistics Authority. Although slightly higher than the previous quarter, this performance is a sharp deceleration from the 5.9% growth recorded in the same period last year.
So while this pace falls short of our initial expectations, it reflects developments from the broader global context of tempered economic activity amid persistent uncertainties.
The country's total economic output reached 6.587 trillion pesos. Key drivers of growth included retail trade, financial services, and manufacturing, underscoring the continued importance of domestic commerce and services to economic activity. On the expenditure side, household spending remained the strongest contributor to growth, followed by public expenditure and construction investments, reflecting robust domestic demand.
Domestic demand remained a key pillar of growth. Easing food inflation supported household final consumption, which grew by 5.3% year-on-year, which is faster than the 4.7% growth recorded in Q4.
Trade remained a drag on growth as imports outpaced exports, resulting in another quarter of trade deficit. While gross national income rose by 7.5%, DepDev officials acknowledged that breaking out of the middle-income trap remains a structural challenge.
Our challenge is really to get out of this middle-income trap. And to be able to get out of this middle-income trap hopefully very quickly, it's really about being able to diversify. So it has to do with economic diversification, has to do with technology adoption. With technology adoption, then you can have greater labor productivity.
With inflation easing and interest rates softening, DepDev believes there is room for monetary policy to support capital markets and investment activity.
We think that there's really room for more easing. And if we can have deep capital markets, that's the first one. And if we can have a lower cost of financing, lower cost of investments by this positive policy action, then that can really boost investments. So it will be really very positive for growth.
Despite the slowdown, the government is still aiming for its full-year GDP target of 6 to 7%. According to DepDev, the economy needs to grow by at least 6.2% for the rest of the year to meet the low end of that range, a pace they still consider attainable.
So for the rest of the year, we need to grow by 6.2% in order to achieve the lower end of in order to grow by 6% for the whole year of 2025. This is actually within the range of possibilities.
Next week, the Development Budget Coordination Committee is set to convene to review its macroeconomic assumptions in light of the latest GDP data. Sujin Kim, Bilyonaryo News Channel.
Mercedes-Benz Philippines launches 2 new plug-in hybrid models, marking a bold push toward electrification and what could be its strongest sales year yet. Our mobility correspondent G. Baroga has the full story.
Mercedes-Benz Philippines, partly owned by the CATS group of Bilyonaryo Felix Ang, is accelerating its journey into electrification with the launch of 2 new plug-in hybrid electric vehicles, the GLC and the E-Class. This dynamic rollout marks a major milestone in the brand's push for innovation and performance. The new models join the growing electric lineup of Mercedes-Benz, which began in 2023 with the launch of its fully electric EQ series. That bold step resonated with Filipino buyers, leading to over 200 units sold. Now, the company is capitalizing on that momentum.
This is actually a first step for electrification for the Filipino motoring enthusiasts because it offers the best of both worlds. Also solves that anxiety on infrastructure gaps and also the range anxiety.
Each of Mercedes-Benz's new energy vehicle unit comes with a personal charger, with free installation included, making the switch to electric even more seamless.
So we're confident with cooperation, also collaboration with the government entities that we will be able to spread electrification in the country.
With strong consumer interest and a healthy economic climate, Mercedes-Benz Philippines is looking ahead to what could be a milestone year in sales.
We are looking forward to a record-breaking volume this year as the local industry. We hope that this will also bring forward the increase in the luxury segment. GDP is growing in the Philippines, and that in itself as well is going to be a good indicator and hopefully increase mobility for Filipinos.
In the Philippines, the luxury car market is pretty niche, making up less than 2% of the entire auto industry. But early projections from auto experts and industry groups see total vehicle sales cruising toward 500,000 by year-end.
Mercedes-Benz Philippines is driving sustainability in more ways than one. Beyond their sleek, eco-friendly rides, they have transformed their flagship showroom into a solar-powered space and is rolling out community programs that help shrink environmental footprint too. For BNC Mobility, G. Baroga.
After break, we speak with the Baguio City Police Office regarding its efforts to enforce environmental laws in the summer capital on Weather HQ. Don't go away. It's a beautiful day. We'll be right back. Hi, welcome back. You're still watching This Beautiful Day. This is Weather HQ. Now, with the growing concerns over noise pollution and illegal garbage disposal, the Baguio City Police Office has intensified its operations, targeting vehicles with illegal mufflers and residents who burn trash. Now, to tell us more, joining us via Zoom is Police Major Marcy Grace Maron, Public Information Officer of BCPO. Magandang umaga, Police Major. Thank you so much for joining us this morning.
Good morning, sir, and good morning to all the viewers of this program.
Major, simulan muna natin sa mga goals ng Baguio City Police. When you could look at yung environmental laws po ninyo, if I'm not mistaken, nag-step up po kayo in terms of trying to curb noise pollution, in particular at mga burning of trash amongst residences and of course businesses dun po sa Baguio City.
Yes, actually, sir, it is one of the program of our city director, one of his 5 agenda. Agenda is the environmental protection. So yun po, meron po kaming mga ini-implement na mga ordinances pertaining to the protection of environment as well as po yung syempre yung national laws on yung protection ng environment. So ang pangunahing layunin syempre of course nito is para mapanatiling malinis, tahimik at ligtas yung ating City of Baguio. Of course for the strict implementation ng mga batas laban sa illegal na mga paggamit ng of course yung mga mufflers. That is for yung para yung sa noise, sa pagsusunog ng basura at iba pang paglabag sa environmental laws. Bahagi ito ng aming tungkulin para sa of course yung kaligtasan at kalusugan ng community, sir.
Okay, klaro lang natin po na yung sa mga noise violations, especially sa mga illegal muffler, may gamit kayong decibel meter po. Tama po ba yan? At hindi lang opinion na po na, maingay ito. Talagang may tool po kayo para i-determine kung labag siya sa batas. Tama po ba?
Yes po, meron nga po tayong na mga decibels po. Ayun nga po, para yun ang magagamit po na measure para masabing maingay nga talaga, sir.
Nung nakarang linggo, or I believe right before yung elections po, may 18 vehicle owners na nahuli po for yung decibel meters, or at least nagamit yung decibel meter in terms of yung sa noise pollution po. What actions were taken against yung 18 na po yun?
Actually, sir, they were apprehended. And then with that, sir, the BCPO will have a dialogue with the motorcycle groups. We had actually last April 18 to address the concerns of these loud mufflers. During the meeting, sir, we try to resolve the problem and yung mga complaints being received by the office. And the violators were of course, they are apprehended, sir.
Major, pag-usapan natin yung problema ng burning of garbage. One of the key points po sa agenda po ninyo when it comes to environmental protection. How big of a problem is yung pagsisiga po ng basura? And of course, when you take a look at yung implementation po in terms of environmental protection, ano po yung mga efforts ng Baguio City Police?
On the garbage burning, sir, actually that is prohibited under the law, the national law. Of course, we have also the local ordinance here in Baguio. So violators are faced with fines when they are being apprehended. They will undergo community service and other penalties, sir, depending on the frequency and severity of the offense. We strictly enforce this to safeguard, of course, yung environment natin, sir. Siyempre yan, sir, sa pag pinabayaan natin yan, that will cause, siyempre, baka magkakaroon ng sunog.
Ma'am, may mga educational campaign po ba kayo, especially when it comes to environmental protection sa Baguio City?
Yes, sir. Actually, sir, we have this, we conduct yung ating information drive, and we also are active in our reminders sa ating social media account.
Ma'am, na-mention niyo po kanina as we show and flash yung contact details po ng Baguio City Police Office for any violations and reports. Na-mention niyo po kanina na may 5-point agenda po yung City Director po ninyo, especially one of them involving the environment as well. And I'm sure involved po kayo sa iba pong agenda points. Ano po yung mga 5 points na yun ni City Director po?
Yung 5-point agenda niya, sir, is first niyan, sir, is yung ating moral and welfare. Yung unang agenda niya po is yung moral and welfare ng ating personnel. Next is yung intensifying yung crime prevention, improving yung crime solution, managing traffic, and yung ensuring yung disaster preparedness and protection of the environment, sir.
Na-mention po yung traffic management at bilang isang turista, minsan kapag nasa Baguio po ako, talaga yung traffic nagiging issue na, and I'm sure nagko-contribute din yun sa noise pollution, sa pollution in general. In terms of traffic management po, gaano kalaking challenge yun para sa BCPO?
Napakalaking challenge talaga yan, sir, kasi naman na Baguio City is one of the favorite tourist destination. So actually with that po, we have created yung ating Baguio City View Baguio, yung View Baguio app, so we can be able to we can download that application so that we will be able to see yung traffic situation ng Baguio City, sir. So we will also be able to see yung tourist destination, kung ilan yung available parking slots in that tourist spot, and there are also posted there yung mga ordinances, yung mga advisories, and yung mga reminders to the public, sir.
Major, excited na ako bumalik Baguio. Maraming salamat. Thank you so much for talking to us. And hopefully po, magkita tayo soon in person naman. Maraming salamat po. Thank you.
Maraming salamat.
Right, that was Major Maron joining us from Baguio City for more updates on the state of Baguio City, especially when it comes to the environment. Now, we've got more stories for you after the break, plus our horoscope of the day with Master Hans Kua when we return. It's a beautiful day. We'll be right back. Don't go away.
Hello and welcome back. You're still watching It's a Beautiful Day. Eto na! Is today gonna be your lucky day or not? Let's go find out from our resident energizer and feng shui master Hans Kua in our horoscope of the day. Take it away, Master Hans.
Good morning! It's a beautiful day with me, Master Hans Kua. Ito po ang horoscope for today, Wednesday, May 14. Para sa mga pinanganak ng Year of the Rat, ang tunay na pagmamahal ay hindi naghahanap ng kapalit. Gold at 8. Sa Year of the Ox naman tayo quit playing games with someone's heart. Karma is real, pink at 3. Sa Year of Tiger naman tayo maging open sa bagong opportunities. Navy at 9. Kay Year of the Rabbit naman, think long term, invest wisely. Olive at 7. Sa mga Year of the Dragon naman tayo, ingatan ang iyong reputasyon sa trabaho, lalo na sa mga chismis. Amber at 4. Sa Year of the Snake naman maging maingat sa kontrata o kasunduan sa trabaho. Ivory at 2. Ito naman kay of the Horsey, acceptance kay partner ang sukatan ng true love, flaws and all. Lilac at 6. Sa mga Year of the Ship naman tayo, huwag kalimutan ang self-care. You matter too. Crimson at 1. Kay Year of the Monkey naman, huwag madaliin ang tagumpay. If you built it, it will come. Scarlet at 5. Sa Year of the Rooster naman tayo, mag-meditate to protect your mental peace. Kaki at 3. Sa Year of the Dog naman tayo, maging proactive sa trabaho. Bronze at 7. At kay Year of the Pig naman mag-exercise tayo kahit 30 minutes lang para maging strong ang health natin. Turquoise at 9. Ako po, si Master Hans Kua. Paalala lang, ito po'y patnubay lamang. Ang tunay na swerte ay nagsisimula sa pagiging totoo. Abangan araw-araw ang horoscope of the day. Dito lang po sa It's a Beautiful Day!
Hi! Master Hans, I was waiting for my favorite part!
What's your favorite part?
Yeah, it's a beautiful day with me, Master Hans Kua.
Okay, do it for him.
Oh, yun na nga, I did it na. But very timely yung horoscope ko today. Self-care, that was very important because you matter too. Yun ang pagkasama.
Yung kay Mo, yung kay Mo, meditate daw. And the thing is,
I can't meditate because I don't have patience. Kaya wala akong self-peace.
self-peace. Kaya chaotic si Mo You know, palaaway si Mo.
If you guys can get me to meditate, that would be the best day ever. Let me know.
Oh my
So
God.
what happens like when you're in a spa and of course you have to stay there for like maybe maximum 2 hours?
I can't do 2 hours.
Paano?
1.5 hour max.
Are you the type to talk the entire time?
No, wait.
Why would I talk?
Ay, ewan, kasi wala kang cam.
No, when it's massage,
Di mo kaya mag-meditate?
grabe naman. If it's a massage, I can calm down. But if I'm
Okay,
like, that's
okay.
why I don't like getting my nails done or anything. Because when I get my nails done, I get really anxious and I'm just like sitting there and I'm like, what am I doing? I can't do anything. Like I need to be doing something. It's
Yeah.
the ADHD.
Kaya wala kang sa nails.
That's why I never get my nails done.
When you get your
Sorry,
nails
don't
done,
look at
just
my
do
nails.
like this.
Yeah, I can't. And then I'm thinking,
Or dance a little.
What am I gonna do with my life? Okay, what's next? Think about the elections. Ang dami kong ginagawa in my head. Non-stop, 24/7. We're busy.
What's your horoscope? What was your horoscope?
Pope Leo the 14th's papacy has yet to hit a full week, but the new pontiff proves that he also got game in the trading card scene. Now, a trading card firm says the Pope's card sold a total of 133,535 copies during its limited time release. Top says the first American-born pontiffs set outperformed those of NBA superstars LeBron James and Victor Wembanyama. Baseball phenom Shohei Ohtani, though, still owns a record for the most trading cards sold. Again,
Wow,
first of
Pope
all,
Leo.
Pope Leo with the first Pope
Popular.
trading card,
Yeah,
I think.
right?
Man, kasi I love American coverage of Pope Leo.
Yeah.
Because
You saw the one with the Chicago
Chicago
Bulls.
the Chicago Bulls one. And,
hilarious.
The,
So
the
good.
Pope, it's so good. Like Chicago's so proud of it. The Chicago Bulls one was really funny because the one where they played the starting
music,
lineup song of
yes,
Michael
yes.
Jordan for Pope Leo.
And I love the ones where they're gonna turn Rome into America, where they have like the Buc-ee's and Popeyes.
Yeah.
It's so good.
Oh my goodness.
All the memes are so hilarious.
No, and the baseball teams of Chicago are fighting for his allegiance. It turns out he's a White Sox fan. So
I wonder how much it's gonna resell, kaya.
that one,
This trading card, because I mean, over 133,000
Pope Leo
sold, so
trading
let's
cards?
see how
Wow.
much people will resell it for.
if and when Pope Leo watches an American baseball game in Chicago, that I think will be a moment in itself.
We'll see.
Just to see it all happen. But of course, we'll all wait for that. And I don't know, if you were to have a trading card of your life, what would it be? Like a moment, because Pope Leo was his inauguration.
Here, being in Bilyonaryo.
Whoa!
And then yellow pa yung card ko, yellow and black.
Yellow and black. And,
Bilyonaryo.
Me standing next to Karina. That will be my trading card.
pero takot si
But
Anne.
si Anne and her face is like this.
And then, no, picture daw, parang picture. My smile was so nervous.
I swear, I've never
But that
seen
will be
Anne
my
that
trading
scared
card.
in my life and that quiet. I really thought something was wrong.
Miss Karina, good morning. Good morning po.
Well, let's move on from the US. Let's talk about something in Japan. To add to Japan's craziest and wackiest ideas are caught on camera, suit-wearing cheerleaders. Some 30 young businessmen or salarymen did their stunts and skills, all while looking very, very dapper. The distinguished gentlemen are part of the alumni from the Waseda University's male cheerleading squad. A co-founder of the group says they chose to wear suits because they thought it would be a good contrast for them to express themselves.
本当に皆さん普通のサラリーマンなんで、僕も総合商社で働いているので。
We're all just regular salarymen. In my case, I work for a general trading company, and I usually have to go out drinking and do overtime. After that, I head home and have meetings. When I have to go out drinking, I move the meeting to the following day. So you can really say that I'm balancing this with being an everyday salaryman. We chose to wear suits for our performances because there's this common image in Japan, and probably the whole world, of the typical salaryman is suit, working day after day as a cog in society. And we thought it would be a good contrast for us to express ourselves through our performances, wearing suits and doing what we love with all our might.
Wow, you know what? I don't know if you actually caught what Mo just said there because the conversations on the side were just insane.
Don't worry, our
But you know what? You know what? First of all, I want to say kudos because it's so hard to move in a suit. You have to have it specially made.
Hard.
I would love to see you
Hindi ka
cheering
raise
in
your
No,
arms
like
wearing
this
that.
one.
Ang
No,
hirap niyan, diba?
no, but this one actually I got extra because
so you can move and
yeah, because
cheer.
for the weather.
Okay.
and
So he
I-
has special suits just
So
for
it
the
has to be
weather.
roomier.
Yeah,
than
because of
usual.
when I do PBA, for example,
You can't move your stiff lang.
I have it tapered, so it's a bit tight. But then that means I can't shoot I can't go inside, get a ball, and then shoot it because I'm masisira. But then this one, it's loose enough so I can move. But then, you see
and
those
that
guys.
Is suit 101
Yeah, look at them.
from Paolo.
The trick
How is
there,
that even possible?
The trick there is that you have the back wider than usual. Because so that way, when you can raise your hands, and it's not a problem. And when you use and I think if you
and maybe a more flexible material. Sometimes
yes,
the material's
sort of.
too stiff, right?
Yeah, and all of that. But I mean, like, hey, good for them. If we can bring suits into dancing more, that'll be really cool.
I would love to see you dancing in a suit.
I don't know. I mean, like, just think about it. We used to do it in the 50s with Elvis Presley.
No, I'm
Right?
not talking about
I don't
anybody.
know.
I'm talking about you with all your tailored suits.
No, you all missed that era of my life. So that is it for us this Wednesday, May 14. Ako po si Paolo del Rosario. Thank you so much for joining us this morning.
I'm Anne Asis-Carilo. Always a pleasure sharing the morning with you guys. Wherever this day takes you, always remember to choose joy, spread kindness, and bring your own sunshine.
And I'm Monique Tuzon. Have a great Wednesday ahead. Join us again tomorrow at 7 a.m. to 8:30 a.m. only here on
It's a Beautiful Day!